What's up, world? You already know it's your boy KasperGenius, and we back. We are back with another episode. We still in season 1. I can't help it, man. I'm enjoying it. God told me to have me some fun. We in season 1, episode 16. I can't tell you exactly how many episodes I'm gonna do in this first season. But what I will say is we just gonna keep this thing rolling. We in episode 16, season 1, episode 16, the Karaoke Oracle. Can you believe it? Man, I believe it. You know why? Because before I even did part 1, God told me, man, do something that you love doing, something that you're going to have fun doing. But let's just focus on that. Let's just focus on that. You got a whole lot going, a whole lot of businesses, a whole lot of stuff you got to take care of. You're responsible for this. And you know what I'm saying? And then when family comes, that gets all of my attention when family is around. You know what I'm saying? So it's like God told me, man, just have you some fun. You can go as many episodes as you want. You know what I'm saying? You can tell them whatever you want them to know, but every now and then, man, let me do the talking. Yeah, he didn't want me to shut up sometimes because, you know what I'm saying, I could go and, you know, I can pretty much, you know what I'm saying, tell too much. You know what I'm saying? It's not the wrong information. Sometimes it's just too much information. Now, I will say that I did make one mistake. But God said, nah, let them catch it. Let them catch it. Let them catch all your mistakes on everything you ever do. I was like, all right, yeah. Because once it's done, it's done. I can't go back and redo that. I gotta, you know what I'm saying, basically push through. And that's what this whole Karaoke Oracle is about. Me just pushing through everything I've been through. People feel like I ain't been through nothing. And that's what this episode right here is going to be about. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming to tell you that no, going to jail, going to prison, or, you know what I'm saying, dying for nothing, to me is for nothing. Dying for nothing, that's not a rite of passage as far as the melanated people. Jail, prison, death is not a rite of passage for melanated people. You know what I'm saying? Come and get some soul food. Good old fashioned soul food. All right. Everything is for free, as good as it can be. Come and get some soul food. Man, I got some chills with that one. Like, man, this has been soul food for real for me. I'm enjoying it that much. You know what I'm saying? This has been soul food for me. Now, previously on the Karaoke Oracle, I gave you Outcast. And before that, it was Mary Mary. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, you know, Mary Mary and all the Marys in the Bible, one of the main things that sticks out to me is, like, just right now, what's sticking out to me is the fact that Mary, his mother, Jesus' mother, was saying, it be your own people. You know what I'm saying? It be your own people. Sometimes it could be your own melanated people. Sometimes it could be your own family. You know what I'm saying? But I have had to learn just in my healing process that I got to face it. You got to face it first and go on through it. And then you got to find it in your heart to forgive whoever for whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whoever they are, whoever they may be, that has me and my babies in this spiritual war that we didn't even know we was having. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, I didn't know it was a real spiritual war until I got away from the drugs and alcohol. That's why I wanted to bring you in this episode 16. I wanted to bring you Snoop Dogg, Gin and Juice. Yes, this was a lyrically correct card. Like I had to do Outkast, Miss Jackson. I just wanted to come back and give you one more song, one more verse from Andre 3000. Tell me if y'all remember what song this is from. Yeah, this is the lyrically correct challenge. What song is this from? Got stopped at the mall the other day. Heard a call from the other way. Some niggas just came from. Some people was saying something, talking about smoke some. You remember me from school? No, not really. But he kept smiling, looking at me, facial expression looking silly, and he kept asking me, what kind of car you drive? I know you paid. I know y'all got buku before from all them songs that y'all done made. And I replied that I had been going through the same thing that he had. True, I got more fans than the average man, but not enough loot to last me to the end of the week. I live by the beat like you live check to check. If you don't move your feet, then I don't eat, so we like neck to neck. Yes, we done come a long way like them slim ass cigarettes from Virginia. This ain't gonna stop, so we just gonna continue. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know y'all be hearing it in these songs I be doing. I be on some screwed up. Like I almost slowed the songs down so you can hear my words. Just like me sitting here talking. Sometimes I can be talking too slow for some people, but it's just so you hear me clearly and understand my words, man. So I'm not gonna take up too much more of Snoop Dogg's time, because right now it's Snoop Dogg, Gin and Juice, and I'm just going to be basically, on this episode, I'm going to be talking about how drugs and alcohol affected my life, and I'm going to be talking about some of my run-ins with the police. Again, jail, prison, and death are not a rite of passage for melanated beings. Nobody. That's not a rite of passage. Like you don't respect somebody, or you don't love somebody, or don't value somebody because they haven't been through the system. Man, that makes no sense to me. Why? Because we are prisoners of war. We are prisoners of war, and we got to stop playing. We got to stop playing. That's what this episode is about, man. I'm going to take y'all through the rest of my journey because, like I was saying in previous episodes, I got to let a lot of that stuff go. It can't go with me. I got to let it go. I done prayed on it, and I'm going to keep praying on it, and I'm going to keep praying on it, and I'm going to keep praying on it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to keep praying over my family. I'm going to keep praying over my loved ones. You know what I'm saying? As I keep getting this information, like God is so cool, and you know, my abundance is already here. You know what I'm saying? Once I realize that, man, I'm a prisoner of war, and I gotta fight to get out of this, and I gotta fight for my abundance. You know what I'm saying? Not an inheritance from anyone who died. I'm talking an inheritance that is divine. My divine inheritance is the gifts that I was born with that have been dormant inside of me. So I've been going inside of me. You know what I'm saying? I've been going inside of me trying to find that. And what I will say is, boy, if you don't think I'm close now, boy, wait till you see me next year. Wait till you see me 5 years from now. You know what I'm saying? Just because I just been building on top of solid ground up on this rock, I will build my church. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go check out Mr. Marquise Tutors Me on YouTube. And this, the Karaoke Oracle. You know, we're going to give you Snoop Dogg, Gin and Juice. Lyrically correct. We ready. With so much drama in the LBC, it's kind of hard being Snoop D-O-double-G, but I somehow, some way keep coming up with funky ass hits like every single day. May I kick a little something for the G's and make a few ends as I breeze through 2 in the morning and the party still jumping cause my mama ain't home. I got freaks in the living room getting it on and they ain't leaving till 6 in the morning. So what you want to do? Shit, I got a pocket full of rubbers and my homeboys do too. So turn off the lights and close the doors. But for what? We don't love them, no? Yeah. So we gonna smoke an ounce of this. G's up, O's down. While you motherfuckers bounce to this. Rolling down the street, smoking Indo, sipping on gin and juice. Laid back with my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Rolling down the street, smoking Indo, sipping on gin and juice. Laid back with my mind on my money. And now that I got me some Seagram's gin, everybody got their cups, but they ain't chipped in. Now this type of thing happens all the time. You gotta get yours, but fool, I gotta get mine. See, everything is fine when you're listening to the D.O.G. I got to cultivate music that be captivating he who listens to the words that I speak as I take me a drink to the middle of the street and get the mac into this chick named Sadie. She used to be the homeboy's lady. 80 degrees when I tell that trick, please raise up off these NUTs, cause you gets none of these at ease. As I mob with the dog pound, feel the breeze. And you know I'm just rolling down the street, smoking Indo, sipping on gin and juice. Laid back with my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Rolling down the street, smoking Indo, sipping on gin and juice. Laid back with my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Later on that day, my homie Dr. Dre came through with a gang of Tangeray and a fat ass J of some bubonic chronic that made me choke. Shit, this ain't no joke. I had to back up off of it and sit my cup down. Tangeray and chronic, yeah, I'm toe down now, but it ain't no stopping. I'm still clocking, and Dre got some freaks from the city of Compton to serve me, not with a cherry on top, cause when I bust my nut, I'm raising up off the cot. Don't get upset, girl, that's just how it goes. I don't love them hoes, I'm out the door. And I'll be rolling down the street, smoking Indo, sipping on gin and juice. Laid back with my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Rolling down the street, smoking Indo, sipping on gin and juice. Laid back with my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Yeah, that seemed to be pretty simple for you, KasperGenius. That seemed to be a little too simple for Kasper G, you know what I'm saying? But it's all love, man. Snoop Dogg is probably the most popular hip-hop artist ever. Snoop Dogg is probably the most popular hip-hop artist ever. I know he got way more popular after Tupac died, because Tupac was that dude. Biggie was that dude. You know what I'm saying? After Tupac and Biggie died, you know what I'm saying, somebody had to, you know, pick up the torch and, you know, pick up where these two individuals left off, you know what I'm saying? And Snoop Dogg was just one of them people that did his thing. People always tell me, man, you look like Snoop Dogg. And then when they hear me talk, they say, oh, man, you sound more like Snoop Dogg than you look like Snoop Dogg. Then when I get up there and do this song right here for karaoke, Gin and Juice, they be like, oh, yeah, man, do that again. They be wanting the encore. And then I got to give them one of my own verses in there. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, Snoop Dogg, Gin and Juice, it was like... man, I got to go back to the video with it. The video, you know what I'm saying? He was throwing a house party. Now, I can't lie and say that, you know, I threw house parties when my folks went out of town. None of that. Nah, but I always went to the parties, you know what I'm saying? Like house parties. And then when I got to college, I started throwing the parties. You know what I'm saying? I was part owner of a club. We called it Sugar Hill. You know what I'm saying? Like AZ, I wanna chill on Sugar Hill. Yes, on Sugar Hill. I called it Sugar Hill. We called it Sugar Hill. And we would have little parties that would make sure the females came to Sugar Hill. You know what I'm saying? Strawberry and cream. But we got to a point where, you know, everybody was too young to even, you know what I'm saying, be drinking. So it was like, you know, if there was any drink, we were in trouble. So we didn't really have too many nights where we was drinking unless it was with the brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's just a gathering of the brothers that's in the fraternity with me, yeah, we'll drink a little something. Like the first drink I had was Budweiser, messing with them. Budweiser was the beer, and all the dark liquors was, you know what I'm saying, what we was drinking back then. You know what I'm saying? Like I can go back and like, you know, graduating high school, you know, we would go to the little corner stores and get like the Mad Dog MD 2020 or, you know what I'm saying, Wild Irish Rose, Boone's Farm, the, you know what I'm saying, that hard, nasty, cheap stuff that ended up messing my uncle liver up, you know what I'm saying, way back in the Gap. So, you know what I'm saying, it's like, I wasn't really much of a drinker. Like I didn't even start smoking till I was about 17. You know what I'm saying? When I was 17, I probably smoked only once or twice because I was so focused on being an athlete at the time. You know what I'm saying? But when I smoked, when I stopped playing basketball seriously and, you know what I'm saying, organized basketball on the basketball team in high school, you know what I'm saying? When I got away from that, that's when I started smoking and drinking and being influenced by smokers and drinkers, you know what I'm saying? And then it got to a point where I was the dude selling the smoke. And man, it would be all kind of females coming through. And, you know, once you start getting too much traffic coming through your street, the laws start bending the corners a little bit more. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I could be out there, but, you know, it's like me. God be hiding me in plain sight. But I still wasn't on no devious stuff. But to get back to the gin and juice, I can remember the first time I actually got in trouble with the police as far as drinking. You know what I'm saying? I had to be like 19. I was working at the neighborhood swimming pool as a lifeguard. You know what I'm saying? I met this female. She was pregnant, you know what I'm saying? And she come busting at me, come hollering at me, I should say. she was gunning too. It was like, man, I was like, girl, you already pregnant. What in the world can I do for you? You know what I'm saying? She just liked the fact that, you know, I'm in college and got a job and I'm looking the way I'm looking, lifeguard, you know, lifeguards. I did so much swimming, you know what I'm saying? I put on about 15 pounds of muscle, you know what I'm saying, that I can't pick up 25 years later to save my life. But, but yeah. So the lifeguard just out there swimming, and I was a swim coach and all that good stuff. But to get to the point of the drinking and the smoking, I used to smoke, but I didn't really drink like that unless I'm, you know, if I'm at a party, you know, kicking it on the weekends, yeah, I'll drink. But it's not something that I was trying to do like all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? After a while, like when I moved back to the hood, yeah, it was smoking and drinking all day, every day. But that very first time that I got in trouble with the police, it was like, I went over to this girl's house. Now, she was pregnant and she told me that she was 17. So after going to her house for about a week, I finally met her sister, you know what I'm saying? And her sister was 17, like she was saying she was. I'm like, hold on now. If you 17, how old is she? And the sister had to go on and tell me, oh, she 14. I was like, oh, nah, little mama. You know what I'm saying? The next day, I was like, shit, I ain't gonna be able to do this. I'm a nowhere to be found ever. Like, no matter what time I went over there, it was like I met her, and within a week, I had been over there 5 times already. She at the house by herself, like, all night long. I was hoping her mama worked the night shift or something. Like, girl, where your mama at? Ain't nobody around watching this baby. I see how you got pregnant. But that night that I met her sister, her dude came with her boyfriend who was 21, and he had a big ass 40 ounce. But he had two of them. So he ended up giving me one, and I'm sitting there sipping with him, but I ain't a drinker, so I'm sipping that thing slow. By the time I left, his was gone, and mine was only this empty, not that full. My 40 ounce was only this empty. So I had to walk home with it, you know what I'm saying? I lived like 2 streets over from her. I'm telling you, we right in the neighborhood, she right around the corner. Her family just moved into the neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, a few months before that. But, you know what I'm saying, I'm walking home with the beer in hand, sipping on it just slowly, and nothing is coincidental. The police came rolling up on me, pulled on over. Hey, man, you got ID? You know you can't be walking around with that bottle just, I didn't know. I got ready to pour it out, and he was like, nah, let me see your ID. Gave him my ID. I'm only 19. He ended up just writing me a ticket. The main thing was, you know, he let me make it. And I saw right then that not all police officers are just on this, you know, trying to get us and you know what I'm saying, keep their foot on our neck type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciated him just for go ahead writing me a ticket. Man, that same summer, I ended up getting a ticket for speeding. But I took both of those tickets, you know what I'm saying, paid them off once I got back to school. And then my next run-in with the law, I thought I hadn't went to jail until a certain time, but I went back and looked at it and said, oh man, I went to jail on that day too. So this was a whole nother scenario. This was a dickhead law. This was a dickhead law. Like, I pull up behind him at the red light, bumping the music, windows down, and you know, I'm having a good time with her. I'm you know what I'm saying, ain't no flocking. I'm still popping, and Dre got some freaks from the city of Compton. I'm, you know what I'm saying, I'm bumping, I'm banging. He was like 2 cars in front of me. It was a car, and then it was him, but he was on a motorcycle. The place I was going was right here in this driveway, but I didn't want to go around the car and just jump in the driveway because the law was right there. So what I did was I waited for the light to turn green. He waited for the light to turn green, and he was trying to turn around in the parking lot that I'm going in so he can pull out behind me, hit his lights. But as he went into the parking lot, I pulled in the parking lot with his ass. So he gonna try to hit the lights on me right then. You know what I'm saying? And after about an hour of arguing back and forth with him, he was like, okay, I'm finna call the marshal. She on her way right now. I was like, all right, bet. You know what I'm saying? I had to call my uncle and tell him to come and pick the car up. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I need you to come get the car. This law is trying to take me to jail. Just take it. I didn't want him to take it to the apartment I was in. I told him to take it to my mama's house. Yeah, and he took it to my mama's house, left the keys wherever he left them. And then, you know, the marshal show up. And, you know, I had to go to jail, but, you know, I was only there like an hour. So after that hour, I get back to the house. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, it was my day off. If I would have missed work, I probably would have lost my job type of stuff. But, you know, it's my day off. I'm enjoying it. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna go to the store, fill up this gas tank, and ride across town or something. You know what I'm saying? But he stunned it all. Like, nah, we ain't doing that. I ended up getting pulled over one more time, but this law actually saw my kids in the car, and he didn't give me a ticket for nothing. But by the time I took my kids to the park, you know what I'm saying, I was just taking my kids to the park, go feed the ducks and let them play a little bit, run off that energy is what I be doing. I let them run that energy out, so by the time we get home, they just want to eat, watch watch a movie, you know what I'm saying, take a bath, go to bed. That's what I do with my kids to this day. Make sure they run their energy off or play their energy out until, you know what I'm saying, the sun go down. Like, we gonna go outside, we gonna go and do something until we burn this energy. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, if that law would have just searched my backpack, because by the time I got to the park, I forgot I had this backpack that had all this grass in it, you know what I'm saying? But you know, that was just, that was the Lord just telling me, hey man, you got to watch what you're doing and watch who you with when you're doing whatever you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Now, the next time I actually went to jail, you know, I'm riding with this girl that I had just met about, I've been knowing this girl about 3 weeks. We sitting there smoking, and we was at my uncle's house at the time, and I didn't have that car no more, so I was driving my uncle's car on this day. We was high, but we had just got through smoking, and right before the laws pulled me over, I had just popped this beer that I had bought. You know what I'm saying? I had just popped this beer that I had bought. So, you know, I tried to give it to her, put it on her side, but if they find it, it's mine. They ended up finding it, you know what I'm saying? They poured it out because they saw that I had just opened it. Like, I hadn't even taken a sip of it, but they still gave me an open container ticket, and I had to go to jail for a couple of previous tickets that I had. So I get to jail. I only had to stay in there for about 4 hours. But, you know, it's like 3 in the morning when they let me go. They let me out at 3 in the morning. So I'm walking with, you know what I'm saying, my shoestrings in my hand. I walk to the Whataburger. That's about 5 miles. That's about a 5-mile walk from the jailhouse to Whataburger. And then it seemed like another 5 miles to the house. But in reality, it was a little shorter than that 5 miles to the house, but by the time I made it to Whataburger, I saw a couple of dudes that needed something that I could go and get them. So I jump in the car with them, like, yeah, I can take you, go get you whatever you need, man. I just need to get back to the hood. So we go and they spend their money with this person, but they didn't have what the others they was looking for. So we had to go somewhere else in the neighborhood, find that what they was looking for. I find it. I get back to the spot that I'm usually at, you know what I'm saying, and crash, you know what I'm saying, just on some sleepy stuff. The next year, they come knocking on the door. Hey, man, you got some tickets that you can't pay off, and you got to go and sit in jail because this is you know, $10,000 worth of tickets. I was like, oh man, what? And plus I had $10,000 worth of surcharges on top of it. Like, this ain't making no sense. But, you know what I'm saying, I ended up going to jail for about 8 days. And anybody know anything about Mansfield? Mansfield about the nastiest place. And I was like, man, it ain't no way. It ain't no way. It ain't no way. You know, I get out 8 days later and I came home and it was like, it was nothing but bad news. Like when I'm away, all kind of stuff go down, from the task force raiding the spot to my kinfolk and them getting jumped in the club and having to shoot the club up, but not really shoot it up, just, you know, shoot one time in the air in the club. Shoot one time, everybody scatter and everybody run to the cars. It's like, you know what I'm saying, that kind of stuff was going on. But it was like, it ain't no way I'm finna be away from my babies this long. That 8 days, it hurt my babies more than it hurt me. Like, it wasn't nothing for me. Like, the main thing I needed was a shower. Like imagine being in the jailhouse and the showers don't work at all. Like, showers just nasty. And then you in this little hole they got with about 20 people. You know, I met all kind of people that was that was the gangsters on the outside of that thing. I think it was just because they didn't want nobody messing with them on the inside. I ended up being in there with 2 people that got locked up together, and one of the dudes was, I'm talking about that nigga was crying hard because the other dude had put some A1 Yola in his sun visor. Police found it and he was like, "Man, whose is this?" "Oh man, it ain't mine." "So whose car is it?" "It's the dude whoever driving. This is yours." And well, by the time he got in there, I'm talking about crying. I'm like, man, dang, on the outside of here, you was the toughest kid and the strongest dude here, but I know you. And man, I don't want these people to be up in here taking advantage of you like that, man. So I'm trying to make sure they don't take advantage of me. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I had my run-ins with the law, and you know what I'm saying, other than that, like just being drunk and driving around with your babies and stuff, and that's where I began to wake up and say, man, you know what? I can't be putting my children's lives in danger. If I'm going to drink, I need to be where I'm going to be for the rest of the night. That's why I don't drink in the daytime, you know what I'm saying? Unless I'm watching the game or something, you know what I'm saying? I watch the games on Sundays. Yeah, I might drink me a beer, but I still ain't finna just be super drunk, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can remember being super drunk and, you know, passing out. It's not only draining of my energy to be intoxicated, but it's draining of my energy just being around certain people. They drain your energy, you know what I'm saying? Not that they know that they are energy vampires. It's just that, you know, the spirits that be on them be telling them, oh yeah, him, we need him to do whatever. It could be whatever. An energy exchange could be eye contact, a handshake, dap, a hug. That's an energy exchange. Not just you having sex with somebody, but that energy exchange. And the demons that be on people, they don't have to attach to you to attract to you. And, you know, some folks' demons be so attracted to you that they'll keep you trying to drink this, man, smoke something with me, or this, and that. And it's like, no, nah, man, I'm good. Nah, man, I got work to do. Nah, man, I'm busy. Just stay busy on it, you know what I'm saying? Gin and juice, rolling down the street, smoking Indo, sipping on gin and juice. Now, what I really want to say is, man, I was always a designated driver. But I didn't always get to drive. You know what I'm saying? It's like I always remained sober enough to drive, but whoever's car it was, they would always say, oh man, I got it. Oh man, I'm good. And you can see that they not good, but you know what I'm saying, you take their word for it. So your life is in their hands. You know what I'm saying? That was like the last time I was like, man, you know what? Man, I don't care what nobody else is doing. I'm not doing that. And I just been having to stand on that. You know what I'm saying? I just been having to stand on that. And I can remember going to the club with my homie. He had just got his car painted. I had it pretty. I'm talking about candy paint, Vogues, Dayton's, gold Dayton's, gold Dayton's, Vogue tires, fresh gold paint with the flakes, you know what I'm saying? Inside clean, banging the music, you know what I'm saying? It's like he done took all this money, fixed up this car, and, you know, so we get in the car with him to go to the club. Me and two other homeboys. You know what I'm saying? Keep in mind now, the other two homies is on parole. And the dude with the car, he just got off parole. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, we celebrating, but not really. You know what I'm saying? We celebrating the fact that he just got his ride, you know what I'm saying, fixed up the way he wanted it fixed up. But, you know, we get to the club, they drinking. I'm over by the bar. I done had me a drink or two. But, you know, me, I'm over in the corner singing whatever song come on, rapping whatever song come on, not really paying attention to what's going on, but I'm aware of everything that's going on. That's why I like to stand to myself when I'm at the club. But, you know, it's time to leave. He drunk, the other two drunk, and, you know, I'm sober because I only had one beer, one drink, you know what I'm saying? And that was when we first got in there, you know what I'm saying? It took me about an hour to kind of sober up and, you know what I'm saying, taper off from that, just a little bit of intoxication. But we getting ready to leave, and he was just so excited that, you know what I'm saying, he had fixed his car up, and now everybody is coming out the club at the same time. So everybody see who getting in this car, and they see who driving. So I ain't doing no tripping. Like, I don't want to drive your car. I just want us to get home safely. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude right here, one of his cousins ain't even supposed to be riding with us, you know what I'm saying, with, you know, pistols and weed, because we smoking there and back type of stuff, but they drunk, and, you know what I'm saying, I ain't. But, you know what I'm saying, the whole time we like, you know, he driving, and he driving crazy, and the whole time the homies in the back seat like, see, you see why Casper should have drove? You see? Next thing we know, it was like we trying to get to this same Whataburger. We trying to get to Whataburger, and shit, this Whataburger had this exit that went like under a bridge, and it was just a little slim, little space in between, a little bit of grass right here before that bridge. You know what I'm saying? He coming from the fast lane, trying to get over to the exit, and you know, by the time you exit, you got to be going about 40. You know what I'm saying? You got to be exiting, slowing down. He didn't slow down fast enough. He done, you know what I'm saying? Then keep in mind that he only had his car back like 4 days at the most. 4 days. We was waiting for the club day so we can go to the club. So he done wrecked it under the bridge. We turned and we stuck in between the guardrails. He jumped out the car and walked home on us. You know what I'm saying? 30 minutes later, the police pull up. I got to tell them that I was driving. Because, you know, my other two homies is on parole, and, you know what I'm saying, they can't get in no trouble like that. I was willing to take whatever these police were talking about. But the police didn't believe that I was the driver. Like, one of the last questions they asked me was, hey, man, where are the keys to the car? I was like, man, I don't know. I don't know if I threw them or if they just flew out themselves. But that didn't make no sense at all. But you know what I'm saying? By the time they left, they was like, man, something ain't right about this story. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't leave until the wrecker came and pulled the car. The car totaled, you know what I'm saying? It took about a year, but he fixed up another car the exact same way. Okay, now, the last time that I was pulled over by the police, this was just a couple of years ago. I had just moved back to my hometown from San Antonio. And, you know, the police officer, he had me dead to rights. He had me. I'm talking about I was riding dirty. I'm talking about, man, let me just set it up for you. Okay, so I moved back to the neighborhood. I sold my truck before I moved here. So I was having to drive one of my uncle's vehicles. So he got this little Honda, little photo Honda Civic, and I'm talking about a little car. I'm talking about tinted windows, 5% tint. You know what I'm saying? No tags. So, you know, the license plate out, no registration, no inspection sticker, no insurance on that thing. But, you know, I had pulled into the neighborhood corner store, went to go get me some Rillos and something to drink. Something to drink was, you know, the beer wine mixture that they got, Steel Reserve, but it was the fruit Steel Reserve. So yeah, it's on some like 8% alcohol, but you only need one. Somebody like me, I only need one of them, and I'm gonna sip it slow. But yes, I stopped at the store to get that, but I pulled in, and as I'm getting out the car, you know, I'm looking in the window at my reflection, and I could see the police car drive behind me through my reflection. I didn't turn and look at him. I just kept looking at the window. You know what I'm saying? So I get in the store. I come back out, and he was pulling up the hill. So I get all the way to the car, and I was like, oh, man, I forgot something. I made sure I forgot something. I went back to buy something else. I go back in the store. 2 minutes later, I come back out to get in the car, and he done did the same thing. Busted a U again and went up the hill. I guess he was waiting on me to pull out of the store. So I jump in the car. I go the other way. I go through the back door. So I get all the way to the main street, and he coming. So I turn on that main street, and by the time he turned, he go ahead and hit the lights. So I drive up to the safest street that I thought, you know what I'm saying, was there, just so I could throw the weed out the window. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get away from him so I can throw the weed out the window. This how God worked. I couldn't get the weed out the window because I couldn't get the window down low enough. So I done threw it until I just had to stop. So I get pulled over at the graveyard. So I get to praying to the ancestors right then, like, man, just give me the right thing to say. I know I'm in trouble. I know I'm in trouble because I got this, you know what I'm saying, this quarter sack of weed. It was, I mean, you know, it was probably about 3 grams worth of weed. I got this beer, but the car is dirtier than me. You know what I'm saying? Like the car ain't got an sticker, nothing on it. So he gets up to the window. Can I see your license? And I was like, man, I ain't got nothing but this ID. Because of COVID, I ain't been able to go in and change my ID to this Fort Worth. As you can see on my ID, it says San Antonio, Texas. I wasn't able to change it to Fort Worth because, you know what I'm saying, for whatever reason other than COVID, I just hadn't been up there to change my address. That's what I was trying to explain to him. And he was like, oh. So he went ahead and took my stuff, and he came back and he was like, so go ahead and step out the car for me. I was like, nah, man, I ain't stepping out the car. He was like, okay, Texas law says that if a such and such tells you to get out the car, you got to get out the car. I was like, all right, man, I know the procedure, and I know that you got 10 more laws back there because all four cars done pulled up, and now you got a 5th car pulling up. So 10 laws is at the car by then, hand on pistol, because, you know what I'm saying, I'm sitting up here talking back to the man. But by the time he got me out the car, I kind of calmed myself down and calmed him down. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, I'm like the mayor around here. He was like, oh, you the son of the mayor? I was like, nah, man, I'm more like the son of Jesus, man. I'm always preaching to the people. He was like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? He get me in the car. Well, he got me out of the car because I told him, hey, man, you gonna have to open this door, and because I'm not moving my hands. I'm not doing nothing. I already took my seatbelt off because I knew I was finna have to get out of this car. So I get out the car, and they take me to you know how they get you to the trunk, and I'm looking at all 9 of these laws, and they looking at me. But I'm just so cool and calm that that they was like, oh, you the son of Jesus, huh? And the other, I guess it was his partner, he went and looked in the car, flashed the light, and I had to just put the weed in the seat that I was sitting in. I just, you know what I'm saying, it was right up under me. So when I get out, it's right there in the seat, beer right here, not even open yet. You know what I'm saying? So as soon as he saw that bag of weed, he just immediately started handcuffing me. So I'm, you know, still cool and calm, like, oh man, you gonna do this in front of my ancestors? They turned around, looked at the graveyard, like, yeah, we gonna do this right here in front of your ancestors. You know what I'm saying? Put me in the handcuffs, and he grabbed the bag of weed, and he was like, man, I'm finna search the rest of the car. I was like, yeah, cool, man. It's not my car, but if you do find anything, it's mine, because I'm driving the car. You know what I'm saying? So he take me back to his car, and his main question was, man, why did it take you so long to stop? I didn't want to tell him, man. I was trying to throw the weed out the car so you wouldn't catch me. But you know what I'm saying? I just had to tell him, hey, man, this was the only place I felt safe stopping at, in front of this graveyard, in front of the ancestors. Like I didn't have anybody buried over here at this graveyard, but these are my ancestors as well. Like, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't really trying to hear all that, but, you know, by the time he done came and pulled everything out the car, you know, there's a couple of things that might have been illegal, but at the end of the day, he let me make it. Like, not one ticket. He let me make it. That's how I know that these police officers are not just going against the grain or out here, you know what I'm saying, enforcing their own laws or their own beliefs. No, they, you know, some of them are by the book, and you know what I'm saying, I will give him his props. I don't remember his real name. Like, I don't remember none of the officers' real names, because, you know, I don't know no police like that. They don't know me other than them running my ID. You know what I'm saying? But what I will say is, I mean, he kind of let me know that he knew that I was KasperGenius. You know what I'm saying? You know, they'll probably pull up your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter. They're going to pull up everything that says Marquise Kennedy KasperGenius. They went and pulled all that up, and they see that I'm not who they looking for, but he ended up letting me go. And right before I got in the car, he said, just remember my name, White Shadow. So I'm going to give a shout out to White Shadow, man. I hope you've been watching. I hope somebody over there is listening, because, you know what I'm saying, I'm not a criminal in any way. I just know that, you know what I'm saying, the odds have been stacked against me, and I'm trying to defeat all odds. It's nothing against no police, no FBI, no CIA. I ain't even really got nothing against none of you Masons. Like, I know y'all be after me, but I don't have nothing against y'all. I forgive y'all for not knowing what you doing. I forgive y'all for not knowing what you doing and who you doing it to. You know what I'm saying? Like I was saying, I be falling asleep in some of the weirdest places. Like, I can remember being drunk at the studio. I'm talking about drunk. And I only been knowing the person who runs the studio for a year. Maybe a year. I only been knowing the dude that owned the studio for a year. He had somebody else at the studio that had a bottle, and every time they say this and say that, and like, yo, yeah, man, let's toast to that. And we take a shot. Boom. Take a shot. Boom. And when you ain't got too much on your stomach, somebody like me, as small as I am, 145 and I'm out of your weight class. Better scramble like eggs and break fast. Yeah. Somebody as small as me, you know what I'm saying? 145, 145. Shout out to that boy, Twisted Black. Shout out to T.I. too, man. But yes, when you just be super drunk, like I was at the studio that night, I fell asleep. I woke up the next morning and felt bad because I fell asleep on my girl that was at the house. You know what I'm saying? I'm waking up in the morning calling her fast. That's the first thing I did. Like, oh no, I woke up at the wrong house. Call her real fast. Hey, man, baby, I'm still at the studio. I fell asleep. I got drunk. I don't know if she believed it or not, but I know that I didn't do nothing. I woke up with everything intact. I checked my pockets. I checked my ass. I checked my, you know what I'm saying? I checked my truck outside to see if that boy's still out there, and everything was still intact. So I appreciate the big homie whose studio I was in that let me get home safely with no, you know what I'm saying, no problems, man. Last time I fell asleep just because of the energy and the drinking, you know, I'm chilling with family. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling with family. We watching one of the fights. I want to say Tank Davis was fighting. Not this last time, the time before that. Yeah, we sitting up watching the fight, and I didn't see not one round of the fight. I probably caught one of the undercards, but I didn't see not one round of the fight. And that was when I knew that, nah, man, drinking like that ain't for me no more. I know that my body is rejecting it. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what my mind say, my mind can be, not even, man, don't worry about it. We're going to get to that, whatever that may be, in the next episode. I appreciate y'all. This was episode 16. We still in season 1. Gin and Juice by Snoop Dogg. KasperGenius, the Karaoke Oracle. Yes, sir.